those things I like. I don't know if I ever told you this story, not to get too graphic, but I was going to the first show and I had an ulcer that erupted right before the flight, and I was projectile vomiting blood on the airplane, and they turned it around and they were like, there's an ambulance here waiting for you. They're like, do you want to take this? There's 3 options. You take the ambulance. The second option is you cancel your flight and you can come back tomorrow if you get a doctor's notice. Or the third option, you can get the next flight. I was like, this is an interesting option between the second and third. And I told him that's how badly you have to feel like you have to show up. And I literally just said, I'll get the next flight.
So you did actually do a show in a wheelchair.
I did a whole tour.
Again, I don't know what you're talking about. Goodbye, farewell tour. And is this your last tour?
This will be the official last tour. Why is that funny?
Just because you've had a few finals.
Yeah. Well, the thing is, you never know. But yeah, this is very much going to be my last tour.
This is it. Last chance to see Oliver Tree.
But yeah, it was crazy.
So you did it in a wheelchair?
The whole tour, yeah. I mean, I was going to either cancel it or do it in a wheelchair. Those are the options.
Now, can I ask you this question? Do you now, like a little ableist, perhaps?
What?
To go out there in a wheelchair?
My foot was completely. I had a full-on break in the bottom part, and I wasn't able to walk.
Really?
Yeah, I had to wear a cast on it.
Well, okay. And then you said, what was the other blood thing? Can we corroborate that?
I lost
story?
1/3 of the blood in my body due to the ulcer.
Yeah.
And I couldn't breathe. So
did this really happen?
I played a bunch of shows, like the first few ones, and it got progressively worse. And by the time I did a special guest slot at Red Rocks, I was like, is this the Altivation? I couldn't breathe. I thought my grandfather died from emphysema. I thought maybe it could be asthma or emphysema, but I couldn't breathe. And what happens is when you lose that much blood is that there's not enough blood getting to your lungs. So your lung capacity, your breathing capacity goes down. And so I couldn't breathe, and I got super scared, and I started doing testing and different things. And they're like, you're anemic. You've lost 1/3 of the blood in your body. And I started taking like blood supplement pills, and then I had to get...
You've lost it all from projectile vomiting?
It was blood. It was number 2, and I was diarrhea blood and throwing it up.
That's super scary.
It was a very scary situation.
And you were still going to go out and do the show.
That's how much that you feel the pressure. If you cancel a show, people like hate you,
It's
and
a
they get
big
so
deal.
upset
It's
with
a
you.
big deal.
And it's out of the artist's control. And they're the ones who are villainized from it, and it's such a bummer. But that's how much pressure I felt the time that I was like, I can't cancel this.
So were you able to treat the ulcer?
Yeah, it was
Just
something
all
that took a long time. I mean, they had to do the endoscopy and the colonoscopy at the
They did
same
the
time.
double?
Double.
Bro, I always imagine the double where the cameras go high five in the middle. They meet your large intestines valve and say
Really hardcore though. It was a pretty scary time for me because you're like, what's wrong with me? What is going on? That's not a normal thing.
So how did that happen?
That sounds really scary.
It happened from basically I was taking unprescribed it was like doctor level Tylenol or ibuprofen.
Tylenol?
Yeah, and I also had a predisposition because I had some disease
probably
or something.
ibuprofen.
I had eaten from another overseas that I had like my stomach was at there was a predisposition where that would happen very likely. So I got rid of that other issue that I had as well by taking medicine. That created an open space for ulcers to be more invited, and then I damaged my foot. It went through different phases, and I was taking all this ibuprofen from my dad. He's like, oh, you can take this, but it's like 5 times as strong. Tylenol?
It's called, I know, Motrin.
Whatever it was super hardcore on your stomach, and like it fried my stuff.
Ibuprofen's super dangerous.
I don't take
people
it.
People don't understand. I've seen doctors saying like if that was invented today, it would 1,000% not be over the counter.
What?
Because
Really?
it can really fuck your organs and here, let's ask ChatGPT.
Let's ask the expert.
No, I've heard that.
I've heard.
I don't take it unless it's like an emergency type situation.
Wow.
Oh my God.
I take Tylenol. I think Tylenol.
I have a headache right now, and I was like,
You want Tylenol?
No, I don't want to take anything.
You're scared to take.
I don't take
after
it.
that.
I try not to take things unless it's a more emergency.
Because Tylenol is pretty more mild.
These things are all hard on your liver, and I am sober, so I try not to take anything. But I do take melatonin, and I drink coffee.
You take melatonin to sleep?
Yeah, I mean, sometimes I didn't take it last night, but I do often.
What milligrams do you take?
Well, dude, I just got a package because a lot of times it's legal in overseas. Like you can't get it in England.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
It's crazy. I don't
buy that
understand.
shit at Walmart.
Yeah, but I got 60 milligrams for the tour.
What?
But I don't know. I have
that
to sleep
sounds
on
like
airplanes because I have to
dangerous.
reset my time schedule.
60 milligrams?
Yeah, I never got ones that big. I didn't even know they sold it. But I usually take a couple 10.
Because sometimes I have it by my bed when I need it. It's like a 5 milligram, and
Yeah,
that knocks me out. 60?
60. But here's the thing. I've learned since I travel so much, I don't have the option to be able to have jet lag.
Right.
So there's ways around jet lag. And
Right.
if you sleep on the plane, so whatever the time is, let's say it's 4 p.m., I just either stay awake till I get on the right sleep schedule, or I go to bed at some weird hour, like in the middle of the day. I'll just try to take sleeping aid, but I try to take actual hardcore sleeping medicine because that stuff's just as bad as anything.
That's real interesting because that's an issue I imagine a lot of artists, traveling artists,
touring. I've always wondered about that.
Well, you can avoid the jet lag if you set your biological clock on the flight over. So I found it works well.
So you find that you don't feel jet lag so much anymore?
I don't really get it. No.
That's good.
I actually don't experience it.
Do you just try to stay on? Yeah, you can't. So you try to reset. But you're going in so many different time zones. It's crazy. It seems so hard to get on top of that.
Your body acclimates. It gets used to that.
Does touring, like, is it really difficult because of all the traveling?
I don't know. The part that's hard about it is that pretty much none of it is the shows. It's mostly the traveling, the hotels, the airports. So it's a lot. It's really, I guess there's a famous quote about it where it's like, they pay us to travel. We play the shows for free. That's kind of the idea. It's like the shows are amazing. There's times where I got to a show and it's like raining, like thunder, lightning, and they cancel. I'm like, we already got here. We already unloaded my big cow out of the semi truck, and I'm like, I wish I could just play. You know, they're gonna pay you from this thing. It's force majeure. They do this thing where it's in the contract where if there's it's out of your hands and it's like a natural disaster, that you still get paid your full amount. But you're like, well, we already came out this way. I'd rather play the show than sit in a hotel room. It'd be way more fun.
Right.
So,
by the way, I got a ChatGPT pulled up a real good one. So number one side effect of ibuprofen, and this is what happened to you, is it can irritate the stomach lining and cause gastritis, ulcers, and bleeding.
It was crazy.
Taking ibuprofen with food or milk can help reduce the risk. Second one is cardiovascular risk. Some studies say that taking ibuprofen can be associated with increased risk of heart attack or stroke.
Oh my god.
This drug is fucking dangerous.
Pretty much every drug is dangerous, though. You know.
Right, but this one is very dangerous. Can we say that?
We could say that.
Thank you. Kidney damage, liver damage, allergic reactions, blood pressure, blood clotting. It has a ton of drug interactions. That's why I'm on antidepressants, so I can't take it because it has a negative interaction with. So I can only take Tylenol.
So if you look this up about Tylenol, it would be less severe than all this?
I think so. Here, let's see. Let me rephrase this question for you, chat. My boy GPT in the house. How dangerous is ibuprofen versus Tylenol?
GP's out.
Yeah, so I'm sorry that happened, man. You got by the big ibuprofen.
Pharma.
Big pharma.
Yeah.
Yeah, you
No,
got.
I mean, it's just part of the journey, you know. I've had so many things. I've broken like 8 bones before. I mean, a little bleeding out. It's not the worst thing that ever happened to me.
A little bleeding out. So let's see. Both ibuprofen and Tylenol are commonly used. I know that. So here it's listing all the terrible things about ibuprofen. So Tylenol says. Tylenol says the most significant risk with Tylenol is liver damage or failure. That sounds pretty bad, especially when taken in high dose or combined with alcohol. So you kind of got to fuck around. Overdosing Tylenol, I mean, that's...
Jeez.
Yeah, there isn't, though. It's just liver damage and high doses with alcohol. Overdosing.
It's only liver damage.
With high doses with alcohol.
Yeah, but without alcohol, if you do high doses, it's hard on your liver no matter what.
Right.
Without the alcohol.
You shouldn't just take them.
That's make it even worse, but it's still hard, especially if you take a lot.
But it says allergic reactions are rare but possible. Skin reactions, you can get a rash. You can't drink alcohol with it. That's it. You know what I mean? I'm a Tylenol boy.
I'm happy.
Thanks, bro. I got some.
So at what point are we going to start the episode?
Oh, I thought we were... Didn't you want to do like a casual... What kind of questions?
Well, I thought it would be more like an interview.
What kind of questions did you want me to answer?
Do you want me to give you questions?
No, just tell me like what I was
favorite color, favorite food.
What's your favorite color?
I don't have one.
Idiot.
No, but I will say this on the discussion of the live show. I do want to share. First of all, that is fucking crazy that you guys sold that ticket.
Thank you.
That's no small feat. And I've been working on my live show, like the one you looked at the picture of me in the wheelchair. That was like 5-6 years ago. I am so excited, and I hope you guys get the chance to see this concert. I know that stars haven't aligned in the past.
Are you coming to LA?
We might be. I can't say.
Okay.
But we may be.
We're gonna be there, or San Diego, anywhere. We're gonna.
Well,
this is our. I want.
Right now, we're going across Australia, 16 countries through Europe. I'm doing Bali, Indonesia next week.
Whoa.
Seriously,
yeah.
Indo?
Yeah.
Huh.
Playing
That's
a pool
so
party.
cool.
The biggest club in Indonesia.
Is it? You have Indonesian fans, or is it like a
Yeah.
tourist spot?
There's fans everywhere. That's the thing about TikTok. And
Yeah.
Right.
honestly, Indonesia was like some of the first audiences to adapt Life Goes On. Like
Whoa.
random overseas audiences are the ones who make it go often. So.
Wow.
So wow, that's super.
But this show, I'm so excited for you to see because I've spent literally millions of dollars making this.
Can
All
you
the-
tell us a little bit about the setup of the show?
Yeah, so the thing that makes it different from all the other concerts that I've ever seen or ever put on is I wrote a 35-page screenplay for this concert. So it's a mixture of a movie, a TV show, a play, a concert. You have stand-up comedy, you have motivational speaking, you have WWE wrestling, and of course, scooter stunts. So it's 360 entertainment. But the cool thing is
Wow.
all the music videos that I've invested millions upon millions of dollars making are all part of this, and they're all part of one feature film, essentially.
You're just
And
gonna
so-
play them your music videos?
No, it connects all
No,
the
like-
dots. I filmed all the gaps of how they all tie together,
it's
so you
like
get
a
to
whole-
see it
okay, so
as one experience.
Wow.
It's like a video art, would you say?
Yeah, I mean, it's like, the thing is, while these videos are playing too, I'm in the outfit of each music video. I have these things called slates in my ear where it's saying move left, move right. While I'm singing, I
Oh.
have take a bite from this sandwich, do these certain things. So everything is like, it's like a live Broadway musical mixed in with the concert, with the movie.
That sounds really
Hold
cool.
on. You have a slate in your ear telling you
Yeah.
to move left?
So I'm singing the song, right? I can hear the
Yeah.
songs. I have these things called in-ears.
Yeah.
But then I'm basically going like this. While I'm singing, I know the song, so I'm like singing it, and then it says, move left, 1, 2, 3. Move up. And
so it-
my whole body movements are choreographed with the
With
movement.
the-
Okay.
Bow.
with what's happening.
That's
1,
cool.
2, 3, go.
That's
So while
it.
I'm singing, I'm like going through all these different motions in my head.
Yo, you guys, he's gonna
Wow.
be synchronized. Y'all better see this show right now.
But no, it's really epic because I really was, I have the dream to focus on filmmaking. So that's why I'm so into making music videos and build my own production company and yada, yada. But, at a certain point, I'm like, okay, I want to make these feature films. I wrote 4 feature film ideas. But it's hard when you start something, you spend so much time building something. It's like imagine if you started Teddy Fresh and you start getting it going and then you're like, I think I want to actually switch over and get into pottery. And it's like,
Right.
I put so much work in my life's work into this thing. So I'm like, I found a way to still focus in on being a filmmaker and director and make a movie that I can play as the live show. So it's something
pretty
that
cool.
satisfies
That
my
sounds
needs.
fun.
You merge all your dreams into
Yeah,
one.
it's like 360, everything I could want. And then it's like something truly unique. I feel like it's hard to reinvent the wheel. You're never going to do it. But in this context, I've made something very special. And I feel like it's very much something that is almost made for like this ADHD generation. So there's so much stuff happening that you can kind of latch onto the things you like. If you don't want to watch the visuals at all, there's a full band playing.
Will there be
a 4-piece
Subway
band.
Surfer playing on the screen?
Subway Surfer, I'm not familiar.
Kinetic sand.
Or kinetic sand cutting or anything like
None
that?
of that, no. But that might be in the next version.
Well, I'm
of
just
this.
saying,
Maybe if we
if
did
you want something for
extended
everyone.
tour. Maybe if we did
Have
American.
you never seen Subway Surfer? Can you
No,
pull
I
it up? Because we're probably going to need it for this interview if it keeps like this.
We are gonna need something. Can we just trim the first half when it goes up?
I mean, it's live.
it's already live.
So it's not really
Wait,
trimmable.
nobody said this was gonna be live.
Mm.
I didn't get that approval. Let's start it over.
I wanted to ask you this. You said like how much pressure you have
Right.
to go out and do a show. Has there been times when you had to cancel a show?
Yeah, and a lot of it is out of my control. Whether it's a health thing, that's one thing, and I still always try to play no matter how sick I get, no matter how bad things get. The other thing is like the agents, the certain things. There's things tied to it that have nothing to do with the artist.
Yeah.
And then you're the villain because people's, are
So wait,
worked
give
so
me an
hard to get these
example.
tickets. Just something where, for
Like
example,
politics in the
I
back?
can't give specific examples about something very current situation, but
Okay.
it's like that market is completely dead and everyone selling tickets there is dead. And I have no choice, but like the people who I work with, they're like, well, it's not your fault, so we're going to pay you anyways for these shows, but it's not.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So it's like that crazy where it's out of my control.
That's crazy. They still pay you.
Yeah, I know. But it's that much out of the artist's hands that they're not even involved. They have no
They need
decision.
to,
with
they
this
need to give
process.
them. Wow.
So it's like,
And
like a force majeure. It's like, okay, you get there, but it rains, so we pay you.
Who pays you
It's not your fault.
the
Well, I've done a deal with Live Nation.
Oh, so Live Nation covers it. They can afford
They
it.
help like
Scumbags.
make it all work. Okay, keep it positive.
I can't say that they're scumbags.
Well, what if I
Well-
said Teddy Fresh was run by a bunch of scumbags?
Do you, but right, that'd be probably.
I wouldn't, of course.
But Live Nation, isn't that like you do?
I don't know.
They're like monster company. That's
Every-
like saying Bill Gates is a scumbag. Isn't
Why would
it?
you say that about him?
Right? I'm just using an example.
He's
It's
done
old-
great
old Billy boy.
philanthropic work.
Have you heard about what he's doing with our potatoes?
No.
It's crazy. I can't get into it right now because I can't talk about it on.
So
on
here's
air.
the thing. Going
We'll be
back to the
censored.
sponsor, not to drive this into the ground, but I think what we need to do is open up the floodgates. Can we get a countdown for mine?
What I was going to ask you is, was there ever a time you had to cancel that was because you were sick or something? Like, I'm just curious.
Okay,
How-
so for example, I was supposed to play in San Diego. I was throwing my festival, Firefest,
Yeah.
where I had Smash Mouth opening
I
up
remember.
for me, and I had put together
Rest in
this whole
peace.
Rest in
concert.
peace.
I know.
Rip to the goat.
That's never
Rest
going to
in
happen
peace.
again, man. Maybe you
Wait,
got
so what happened?
So this year I had to get surgery on my voice. I couldn't talk for 5 weeks.
Oh, shit.
I couldn't sing for 3 months. But before that, I basically went to the doctor and he said, I had a whole tour plan. And he's like, if you do these shows in the next few days, you're going to have to cancel the entirety of the show. So you need to go on no talking vocal rest.
Wow.
And they looked into my throat. It was something that was the hardest decision because I'm like, this is my dream festival. Smash Mouth is the band I literally grew up listening to.
And like, if you're lucky, he might even do a Heil Hitler on stage.
All
for you.
right, we're going to stop you right there.
He did do that, right? He did do that.
Let's not speak ill of the dead.
Oh.
Good point.
He did though. Yeah, he did that shit.
By the way, fuck Diane Feinstein, right? Found it.
I
That
can't
old
endorse
bag.
any of this stuff you're saying. I don't even know what you're talking about.
It's better for you to just pretend like you don't know.
Actually,
know.
Ethan, unfortunately, I saw an announcement earlier that despite her death, she's going to be
She's
rerunning.
still running?
Yeah.
Oh, no. God, she does not
Yeah.
want to quit.
She's on that grind. She's an all-time hustler.
I was on Twitter, and I saw everyone doing these super heartfelt tributes, and I was like, man, fuck that, dude. And I just put out a tweet where I just said, fuck her. I was just like, she sucks, dude. She's 90 years old, dude. 90. I don't know if you follow this stuff, Oliver.
I don't use the internet, so I don't know who these people are or any of what you're talking about. I didn't even hear about the submarine thing until a couple weeks ago.
The submarine.
That's an ancient meme at this
That's
point.
how out of the game I am.
Wow.
I'm
That,
like,
you must have been captivated by that thing.
I was like, what's going on? I must know more.
Yeah. I can tell you, I'm a pro on the topic. Do you know everything about
I
it?
heard enough. I think I have the
Okay.
gist of it.
Just,
It's wild.
pop.
It is, yeah, PlayStation 2 controller.
mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Crazy. I can't believe I'm driving that thing with that. But yeah, I was out of the loop. I missed a lot of stuff.
Look, I'm even getting these, Dan. The worst person you know made a point you agree with.
Is that a picture of
It's a
Dan?
bipartisan.
Yeah, right.
That's not a picture of Dan, no. I'm not going to read it, though.
Have you heard about Lizzie in the Box? Like
Who?
Lizzie in the Box?
I have no idea. What,
No.
Oh, the Queen, she died.
Who's Lizzie in the box?
The Queen Elizabeth.
Yeah.
Queen Elizabeth. the
Right, I've
monarch?
heard of her.
Have you heard of England?
I've
Have you heard of the British
actually, it's funny you
Empire?
say that. I'm playing a
You're playing
few
there?
shows in England.
Okay.
Are you?
London.
You might want to say
Manchester.
when you get like Lizzie in the Box.
Is that a thing? I don't know what that is.
Actually, I'm curious. If you were playing a show in UK and he said Lizzie in a box, would people be happy or would it be funny? I don't know.
I don't know.
I'm genuinely
Probably
curious.
people would be a little. Some people would be mad.
This is Queen Elizabeth. You don't recognize her?
I'm familiar.
She got badass hats. Her hat game's crazy. Princess
Yeah.
Diana, you know about
I've
her?
heard of her.
You know? And she's dead. She's in a box. Which is where we all go.
Right.
My dog passed away.
I know. I'm so sorry to hear that.
Thank you.
When's the tattoo?
Tomorrow.
And what's the plan? You're taking some kind of drug so you don't feel it?
No, I'm not going to do that.
Not happening
So
anymore.
I talked to a real tattoo artist, and he's like, this is how we should do it. I'm going to come to your house so that I can focus and I'm not going to be, distracted. And I don't think you should take painkillers either because apparently it can warp the skin or make the tattoo come out differently.
Right. And
Oh,
if
really?
you look at yourself
yeah.
too, like in especially your face, it is pretty warped already to begin. with.
Right.
You
Don't
wouldn't
go
want to
warp the
do
rest of
even
my
more
body.
warping.
Yeah. Thanks.
But is it just a permanent thing or
Do you know what a tattoo is?
It's a real tattoo.
I don't have any, so no,
Think
you
I'm
have
doing
any?
Henta?
Either of you?
No.
This is my first one.
Wow.
I'm
Well,
actually
hats
really,
off to you.
Thanks. I'm actually really excited because, it's been so hard, and I think it will comfort me to have him be so close all the time.
I'm happy for you. I think that's an amazing idea.
You're happy, but you're not happy that my dog died,
No,
right?
of course not.
Because if you worded that in a way that I said to make sure.
What's on the screen here? Who the fuck is that?
Oh.
What is going on, dude? I'm trying to keep good vibes here, and I'm getting a lot of lashback, a lot of negative vibes.
I don't think this has anything to do with us.
What is going on? How much did you pay this guy? Is this your trainer? Isn't this your boxing trainer?
No, we don't pay him. I don't know what the deal is. Like,
does he speak?
Not lately.
So I'm trying to figure out what's going on here, Ethan. I'm trying to have a positive interaction with you for the first time ever. I'm trying to go along with the show and just be a guy who's sitting in here, but I'm getting a lot of this negative kind of energy. Yeah, turn that off. Thank you.
So anyway, we were talking about
The album.
the album.
So did you actually listen to it? I sent it to you
We
guys. You're
did.
the first people who I ever sent it to. What did you think?
We loved it.
I genuinely thought it was really fun.
What's your favorite song?
It's really fun.
I liked the first one was really good, and I also liked.
Wow.
And I'm gonna tell you for real,